Hello everyone, my name is Mini Sethi. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about Factories Act 1948. Before this act, there was no control over employment conditions of workers. There was no fixed timing of workers. There was no provision of health, safety and welfare of workers. That's why in order to protect workers from exploitation, government made this act. And main objectives of this act are regulate working conditions in factories and regulate health, safety, welfare and annual leave and make special provisions for young women and children who works in factories. This act total have 120 sections, but in this video we will talk about from 1 to 40 sections of this act. Section 1, short title, extent and commencement. This act may be called Factories Act 1948. This act extends to whole India and came into force 1st April 1949. Section 2 talk about interpretations. Interpretations means this section give meaning of some terms which are used in this act. Adult. Adult means a person who has completed his 18th years of age. Adolescent. Adolescent is a person who has completed his 15th years of age but not has completed his 18th years of age. Section 2C, child. Child means a person who has not completed his 15th years of age. Young person. Young person means a person who is either a child or adolescent. Day. Day means a period of 24 hours beginning at midnight. Week. Week means period of 7 days beginning at midnight on Saturday night. Power means electrical energy. Prime mover means any engine, motor or other appliance. Transmission machinery means shaft, wheel, drum or any pulley. Machinery. Machinery means prime movers, transmission machinery and all other appliances which generate power. Manufacturing process means any process of making, repairing, altering, pumping oil, water, sewage, generating, transforming, printing, lithography, construction, reconstruction, preserving or storing. Worker. Worker mean a person who employed directly or by or through any agency with or without knowledge of principal employer, whether for remuneration or not, for doing any manufacturing process under this act. आपने कोई ऐसा बंदा हायर किया है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस के लिए जो हमने पहले डिस्कस करे हैं, चाहे आप उसको बदले में कुछ पे करो या फिर वो फ्री में काम कर रहा है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. प्रिंसिपल एम्प्लॉयर को इस बारे में पता है या फिर नहीं पता कि उसकी हायरिंग हो रही है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन इस एक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग वो आपका वर्कर कहलाएगा. सो व्हाट इज फैक्ट्री अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस एक्ट? Factory means where 10 or more workers are working or were working any day of preceding 12 months in any part of manufacturing process which is carry on with the aid of power. कोई भी ऐसा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस जिसमें आप पावर का यूज कर रहे हो, पावर मीन्स जिसमें आप इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का यूज कर रहे हो और उस प्रोसेस को 10 या 10 से ज़्यादा वर्कर्स अभी कर रहे हैं या फिर पिछले 12 महीनों में किसी भी दिन उन्होंने वहाँ काम किया हो, वो जगह क्या कहलाएगी? आपकी फैक्ट्री कहलाएगी अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस एक्ट. फैक्ट्री ऑल्सो इंक्लूड वेयर 20 और मोर वर्कर्स आर वर्किंग और वर वर्किंग any day of preceding 12 months in any part of manufacturing process which is carry on without the aid of power. Now we are talking about manufacturing process without the aid of power. उन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस में जहाँ पे पावर का यूज़ नहीं हो रहा, जहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का यूज़ नहीं हो रहा, वहाँ पे 20 या 20 से ज़्यादा लोग अभी काम कर रहे हैं या फिर पिछले 12 महीनों में उन्होंने किसी भी दिन काम किया हो वहाँ पे, तो उस जगह को भी हम फैक्ट्री कहेंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस एक्ट. Section 3, references to time of day. This section basically tell about any area in which Indian standard time is not specified, then state government will make rules about this. For example, state government can specify any area, State government can define local mean time which will follow, and state government also permit such time will be followed by all other factories which are situated in this area. Section 4, power to declare different departments to separate factories or two or more factories to be a single factory. State government have a power to declare different departments to a separate factory or two or more factories to be a single factory by its own or application by occupier. Next is section 5, power to exempt during public emergency. State government have a power to exempt any factory for following any provision of this act during public emergency. Section 6, approval, licensing and registrations of factories. This section basically talk about approval, licensing and registrations of factories. For doing this, factories have to submit descriptions of factories or any business plan to chief inspector or state government. Means in licensing and registration, chief inspector and state government play very important role. Section 7, notice by occupier. Now your factory has been registered. You are going to start it, but occupier at least 15 days before he begin to use any premises as a factory have to give a notice to chief inspector in written. Next is section 8, inspectors. State government by giving a notice in official gazette can appoint any person who have all prescribed qualification to be an inspector according to this act. Section 9, talk about power of inspector. Inspector can enter in any premises, make examination of any premises or plant, can do inquiry about any accident, and can take copy of any register, record or documents. Section 10th, certifying surgeons. State government may appoint qualified medical practitioner to be a certifying surgeon under this act. Section 11 talk about cleanliness. Every factory should clean workers floor every week with proper disinfectant. Plus factories need to paint, repaint walls, ceiling or any staircases in every 5 years. But in case of washable water paint, factories need to repaint walls once in every 3 years. Section 12 talk about disposal of wastes and effluents. Effluents means chemical produced by factories or we can say the liquid wastes. And factory should do effective treatment for wastes and state government can make rules for effective treatments of disposal of wastes and effluents. Section 13, ventilation and temperature. Every factory have to maintain proper ventilation and adequate temperature. Section 14, dust and fume. If any dust and fume released by any manufacturing process, then factory have to use proper exhaust appliances. Next is section 15, artificial humidification. Artificial humidification means when we produce moisture by artificial means so that we can maintain proper moisture condition. Factories, those who are doing artificial humidification, they have to follow some rules which are made by state government regarding this. For example, state government can prescribe standard for humidification, regulate methods for use for increasing humidity of air. Next is section 16, overcrowding. No room shall be overcrowded and a working space allow for per workers after commencement of this act is 14.2 cubic meter. Section 17 talk about lighting. In every factory where workers are working or passing must have proper lighting, artificial or natural or both. Section 18 talk about drinking water. In every factory where more than 250 workers are working, they must have provision of cooling water during hot weather. Next is section 19, latrines and urinal. It must be properly lighted and ventilated and sweeper should be employed to clean it. Section 20, split-ons. Every factory should be provide sufficient number of split-ons and keep in hygiene condition, and no workers should allow to split in premises except in split-ons. Section 21, fencing of machinery. Every dangerous part of machinery should be securely fenced, and state government can make some rules regarding this. Section 22, work on or near machinery in motion. Only specially trained adult workers can do examination of machinery. Women and young person are not allowed to clean, lubricate or adjust any part of machine when it is in motion. Section 23, employment of a young person on dangerous machines. No young person can work on any machine unless he is properly instructed, and state government can prescribe machines where young person cannot work. Section 24, striking gear and devices for cutting of power. As we know, striking gear control movement of belt. That's why proper striking gear or other appliances should be provided, maintained or used to move driving belt, and suitable devices has to provide for cutting of power in case of emergencies. Section 25, self-acting machines. No factory should allow any traversing part of self-acting machine to run in the distance of 45 centimeter from its fixed structure. As you know, every machine have a certain fixed structure, and self-acting machines are those machines which are designed to activate or move by itself. And according to this section, traversing part of self-acting machine should be run in the distance of 45 centimeter from its fixed structure, because if their parts are moving anywhere, it can be possible it injures someone. That's why in order to protect workers, government prescribe this limit. Section 26, casing of new machinery. After this act, if any machine installed in factory, then every set of its screw, bolt, wheel, spur or friction gear has to kept properly and covered in order to prevent any dangers to the workman. Section 27, prohibition of employment of women and children near cotton openers. This section prohibits employment of women and children near cotton openers, because if they inhale particles of cotton, it can lead to so many health problems. For example, asthma, shortness of breath, cough, etc. According to section 28 and 29, every hoist, lifts, machines, chain and ropes should have good mechanical construction, should use sound material and should examined by competent person. Section 30 talk about revolving machine. Every room where grinding work is going on, factory must fix maximum safe working speed and time to time check all work is going on this safe speed or not. Section 31 talk about pressure plant. Where work require more than general atmosphere pressure, then state government make rules for examination, testing and also prescribe safety measure for safe working pressure. Section 32, floor, stairs and means of access. Every floor, stairs, passages, gangways should be sound constructed and properly maintained. Means every person should be provided safe access in every factory. Section 33 talks about pits, sumps, opening in floor. As we know, every fixed vessel, sump, tank, pit or any opening in ground or any opening in floor can be very dangerous. That's why it should be properly covered or fenced. Section 34 talk about excessive weight. No workman can carry weight that can be cause him injury. That's why state government prescribe maximum weight limit for lifting, carrying and moving for adult men, adult women, adolescent and children. Section 35 talk about protection of eyes. State government required to make provision for effective screen or suitable goggles if there is any risk of eyes injury due to manufacturing process or any exposure of excessive light. Section 36, precautions against dangerous fume and gases. No person shall allowed to enter in any chamber, tank, vat, pit or pipe where so many dangers are involved. But in case of emergency, if they go, then they must wear suitable breathing apparatus and belt which is securely attached with the rope. Section 37 talk about explosive dust and gas, wherein manufacturing process produce so many dust, gas and fumes, then factory should take some effective measure to prevent this. For example, factory should properly enclose, fence or covered machines that are used in this process, and factory should try to prevent accumulation of dust, gas or any fumes. Section 38. Precaution in case of fire. Every factory should take practical measure to prevent from fire. That's why factory need to maintain necessary equipment and facilities for extinguishing fire. Section 39. Power to require specification of defective part or test of stability. If inspector have any doubt there is any dangerous condition going in factory for human health, then inspector can serve order to occupier or manager or both, and can say furnish such drawing specification so that they can know whether such building or machinery can use with safety. Or we can say that inspector can ask for some construction documents so that they can understand whether we can use this building, machineries or plant with safety. And factory also need to carry out some test and submit a result of this test to inspector. Section 40B, safety officer. Where more than 1000 workers are working must have one safety officer. Duties, qualification and condition of service of safety officer is prescribed by state government. So this is all about 1 to 40 sections of Factory Act. I think you got it, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, take care.